exactly 1 month ago. But first, just yesterday, Mayor Wrdw issued an executive order requiring masks, but Georgia Governor Brian Kemp says the ordinance is, quote, unenforceable and goes against a recent executive order requiring cities to follow the state's health and safety guidelines. Our Celeste Springer got to the bottom of it.
Yeah, this started after Governor Kemp tweeted a response to the Atlanta mayor's ordinance to roll back reopening plans. He said those local requirements are non-binding, and it's simply not possible to enforce them. I spoke with one Augusta commissioner who disagrees with the mayor's mask requirement and had questions about how it could be enforceable as well.
Mayor Wrdw's latest executive order requiring masks in all public places is raising both eyebrows and questions. District 8 Commissioner Brandon Garrett thinks masks are important. He wears one himself, but he voted against a mask requirement last month.
Even back in June, I was very hesitant to, issue a mandate making people wear masks.
He even says the city's lawyer advised against a mask requirement last month, saying it might conflict with the governor's office. Governor Kemp enacted an executive order which says no local actions can be more or less restrictive than his.
But even during that discussion back in June, he issued a word of caution to the commission that according to the governor's state of emergency guidelines that local governments aren't supposed to exceed what he had already put in place.
Governor Kemp's office gave us an official statement today about Augusta's mask requirement. It says the mask requirement has no standing, and even though the mayor's office says ignoring the ordinance would result in fines, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office told us they're treating calls about masks as educational contact.
I think that just shows that even from the law side that they have questions about whether or not they can lawfully enforce this.
And though there's still confusion surrounding the mask requirement, Commissioner Garrett says he hopes people will wear a mask on their own accord, not because they're forced to.
We reached out to the mayor's office today and yesterday about this, and we haven't heard back. The mayor did say in his conference yesterday that the fines for not wearing a mask could go up to $100. We'll be following this closely to see if the city has a right to do that.
All right, thank you, Celeste. And if you want more specific information about that ordinance online, head on over to our website, wrdw.com. An executive order put in place by South Carolina's governor is now in effect tonight. Starting a few minutes ago at 11 o'clock, people in South Carolina won't be able to order alcohol at bars and restaurants after 11 p.m. That's after the state's governor passed the order to stop the spike in cases in young people. You'll still be able to buy booze at gas stations and grocery stores after 11, though. The order is going to be in effect until further notice. All right, Anthony, it was an extremely wide mask order. Some states, like Ohio, only have a mask order for some counties. This map also does not include individual cities that have mandates, like right here in Augusta. A California man beat incredible odds to leave a hospital alive more than 100 days after being admitted for the coronavirus. Tom Butts is a triathlete who completed the grueling Ironman competition in Hawaii just 2 years ago. Well, on Friday, he celebrated another big victory, of course, being released from the hospital after fighting for his life against COVID-19. He spent more than half his 110-day stay on a ventilator. Tom and his family say they're hopeful for what comes next.
How are you feeling? Great. Happy to go home? Yes.
Very skinny. But you know what? I saw him worse, and I'll take that, and I know it'll get better. Oh my God, it's been a roller coaster. It's been the best day of my life.
Butts doctors credit his physical fitness as a triathlete and Ironman race to overcoming the illness. Wow, congratulations to him and his family. Well, a rescue with a happy ending today over on South Carolina's coast. How a kitten stuck in a drain ended up getting a new home.
I called the CSRA home for...
Well, an early morning fire nearly destroyed a 250-year-old landmark church in California. Officials say the Gabriel Mission in San Diego was being renovated for its 250th birthday when it caught fire. Miraculously, the flames did not make it to the church's famous altar, which was brought to the church from Mexico City in the late 1700s. Investigators are still working out the cause of the fire, which required about 50 firefighters to put out. And the special counsel in charge of the 2016 election
Dealer. Help us fight for life and train the CSRA. Contact the American Heart Association for details.
Well, at least 14 states now require visitors to quarantine for 2 weeks if they're traveling from a coronavirus hotspot. It's stalled the airline industry's already slow recovery. And as Chris Van Cleve reports, it's fueling a surge in staycations.
Summer vacation during the pandemic is being done almost exclusively by car as people like the Field family stick closer to home this year. They rented a lake house in New Jersey, about an hour away.
This was an opportunity where we could monitor the weather and actually see friends responsibly and invite them over and barbecue.
Airbnb CEO Brian Chesky.
Right now, travelers are not comfortable getting on airplanes. They're not comfortable crossing borders. They're not comfortable going a really long distance.
Chesky says Airbnb is one of the few travel businesses seeing growth. While international bookings remain down, domestic bookings, especially within 300 miles of home, are up over 2019.
What's going to happen is people are going to discover their local communities. And so there's going to be a total redistribution of travel. And this is going to have a way of leveling the playing field where more communities can participate in travel.
Do you think people are going to just cross Paris and London and Italy off the bucket list and instead go to a national park?
No. I think it will be just diversified.
AAA expects Americans to take about 700 million trips this summer, down 15% from last year.
We're seeing regional and local trips, and a lot of those trips happening over long weekends or just a weekend trip. And it's going to be to places where they can social distance mostly.
Major hotel chains like Marriott rolled out new cleaning procedures nationwide, including these disinfecting foggers. Airbnb says it teamed with a former Surgeon General to raise its cleaning standards. How do you guarantee that someone is cleaning their rental house sufficiently?
We designed an enhanced cleaning protocol, and then we have a review system where we ask the guests about whether they followed a variety of protocols and whether or not the place was as clean as possible.
Another choice for those looking to just get away.
Now, Airbnb also has cracked down on people booking homes on the app just to throw house parties. The company says it's doing that to prevent damage to the homes, along with, of course, stopping large gatherings that go against stay-at-home orders. All right, taking a look now at Grovetown and I-20. And, of course, if you're taking any staycations here, Anthony, you'll need some sunscreen and a hat because it is oppressive out there.
Yeah, we did have some of those sticky conditions over the last couple of days. Fortunately, right now, we haven't actually seen a lot of those sticky conditions continue. It's maybe a little bit sticky out there. Dew points in the lower 70s right now, but as we go through the day tomorrow, we are going to be seeing dew points fall ever so slightly out of the 70s and into the lower 60s. So it's going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable tomorrow. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to be seeing some of that heat. It is going to be warm tomorrow, but just keep that in mind if you have any outdoor plans. Temperatures right now across the CSRA into the mid-70s, about 76 at SRS. Still holding into the lower 80s in Evans, about 78 degrees if you're up around the lake. Now, as we continue on through the next few hours in through early tomorrow morning, you are going to see the chance to see at least the comet NEO-wise, so you're going to be able to check that out early tomorrow morning, starting pretty much right around 5:30. It is going to be one of the last days that you can do that in the morning hour. So again, look about an hour before dawn in the northeastern direction, and then after we get through about tomorrow, it's starting to going to be better to see it in the nighttime sky, and you can look toward the northwest after sunset. So usually about an hour or so after sunset is going to be the greatest time to see that. It becomes more visible as we get closer to July 23rd. Then after that, it's going to be very hard to see and actually not come back for the next couple of thousand years. So definitely get out there this weekend and over the next few days to check that out if you can. Tonight, those temperatures will be dropping down to the lower 70s, so comfortable by the time you're waking up and starting your Sunday. As we continue on through the day tomorrow, it is going to be warm out there. Temperatures back up to the upper 90s, right around 97 degrees for us here in Augusta. And if you are heading outside, maybe going up to the lake, we'll see temperatures slightly cooler, about 95 to 96 degrees. Winds coming out of the northwest at about 3 to 8 miles per hour. And the water temperature already into the lower 80s. It is going to be sunny tomorrow, so that UV index is going to be up there 11 out of the 11-point scale. So definitely want to make sure you bring that sunscreen if you're going to be spending a lot of time outside. The rain, we're going to take a little bit of a break from that as we go through the day tomorrow. Slight chance for some showers as we go through the day on Monday, but primarily Monday evening and in through the overnight hours on Monday. Then we stay dry Tuesday, Wednesday, and just a chance for an isolated shower as we go through the day on Thursday as well. As we continue on through hour by hour, we're just seeing, as we get through Sunday afternoon, fairly dry out there. We could see some clouds working in by the evening hours. We're also going to be watching that slight chance for an isolated shower or two, but that's going to be about it. And as we continue over the next 7 days, we'll see those temperatures sticking to the mid-90s as we continue on through Tuesday as well as Wednesday. Upper 90s as we go through Wednesday as well, Sydney.
All right, thanks, Anthony. A nursing home put out the call for pen pals to help fight off loneliness in their residents. They expected a few letters, but were blown away when they got tens of thousands. But first, as we head into break, take a look at your screen.
The near best services.
Well, loneliness from the COVID pandemic is hitting a lot of nursing homes. So one place in North Carolina decided to do something to change that. They asked people to send letters to their residents. And as Julie Wilson reports, they got so much mail that just sorting through it has become a full-time job.
Leslie from Trinity, Alabama, and it goes on and on.
A friend of mine saw a post. She said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Oh, let's try it. Maybe we'll get 100, 200 letters." How about 50,000 letters later in less than 2 weeks?
Donna Horton, an administrator at Phoenix, says employees are working 8 hours a day sorting through letters and packages.
It's amazing. We've got a Yankee fan. Some of the Yankee former players have sent stuff. Dodger fans have sent Dodger stuff. Lakers fans have sent. It's truly a blessing.
The answers just started coming in, hundreds. My daughter called me and said, "Mom, you've gone viral."
Bonnie is one of 100 residents who have been quarantined since the second week of March, only able to see their families during window visits.
It means a whole lot to me. I have less contact right now because of the corona. And I never dreamed this many people would respond. And every single one of them is so caring. I even have heard from Ireland.
For them not to see their families, be able to touch them, kiss them, hug them. This is just amazing.
The overwhelming support is leaving some residents thinking there's enough to go around to the other care facilities.
If you've got more people, we've got boxes and boxes. So maybe another assisted care, they could also have some of the mail.
They've got so many letters. She's like, "No more letters." But that is so sweet. Wow, what a great thing for them, Anthony.
Absolutely, Sydney. All right, looking at the phrase for rain. No rain today in both Augusta as well as in Aiken. We're going to stay dry through most of your Sunday as well. It's going to be warm, though. One final check of that forecast coming up.